Hello. Hey everyone. Happy Friday. It's my favorite day of the week because I get to be here with you guys live, whatever it is that you want to talk about. I love to play in money, sex, and God. So anything about that, abundance, creation, spirituality, if there's anything going on in your relationships and your life, I'm happy to channel and see what comes up. Happy to play there with you. So please let me know. I'm gonna, yeah, that's good. Awesome. All right, and I will wait in the meantime. I've got hey, hi love. I've got a podcast coming up, Facebook Live podcast in 25 minutes with Michael Bates. So make sure to get on his page so you can watch that. He's pretty epic, those of you that don't know him. He's on his way over, so I'll do that real soon. But in the meantime, I'm here with you guys, and I'd love to know what is up for you, right? What's coming up for you around sex, around sensuality, around sexuality. Betsy, hi. So happy that you're here with us. I'd love to know about you and what is present for you so that we can connect. And I'll wait in the meantime. I wonder how everyone's Friday is going and what's present for them. I'd love to hear. I'm feeling really juicy. Life has been taking me on like a really beautiful whirlwind. And I'm just kind of flowing with whatever is here, just like dancing with the wind, because why not? There's kind of no other way to do things. Well, there are other ways of doing things. This is just the game I want to play in. So those of you on Instagram, I'll just repeat myself. I am doing a live Q&A right now. So any questions that you have on money, sex, and God, this is your time to ask them. Let me see if there's anything backlogged. I think there is. No, maybe not. Okay, there's nothing backlogged. No backlogged questions. So I need you guys to ask me live. And I'm just going to hang out and rub the lotion on my legs until then. So ask me anything, money, sex, and God. My live videos pause on Instagram, and I don't know why. Fix you. Right, let me fix it. Internets. Hey guys, so ask me anything. This is your opportunity. I'm hanging out. I've got no agenda. It's nothing I need to say. There's no one really here anyway. So I'm not a teacher. I simply show up where I'm supposed to show up. And where it feels good to show up and follow this and follow obviously this beautiful place as well. So would love to hear just hellos if you want to connect in, and also any questions, right? So any questions that you have, anything that feels not easy, anything that feels like or a struggle or a cycle of pain or suffering, bring it up. Let's see what we can clear out. Let's see how we can kind of metamorphose it into flow and bliss and deep relaxation, which is how all of us kind of get to live, even if you're smack dab in the middle of New York City. So I'd love to hear questions. I'm going to hang out though. I have, like I said, absolutely no agenda. You can also just tell me how your life is going, type it in, let me know what's up. I just really want to connect with you guys. And as things come up in my channel, I'll share them. Now I feel kind of mindless. I had a morning of dancing, and then I did a self-pleasure circle with some witchy women Oh, we have questions. Good. All right. That's how hi Apollo says I'm so beautiful. Thank you. Betsy says, I first met you in another group and you were doing a study on essential oils. Can you talk about how essential oils break blocks to flow and bliss? Yeah, Betsy. So, I mean, at the simplistic level of it, it is a vibrational piece, right? So essential oils have a very high vibration. They are able to move molecules and molecular structures very quickly. And they work to get us back to the like core essence of ourselves, right? The same way that sexuality does. So when we need to when we want to utilize them, we can utilize them as a tool to get back to ourselves. And depending on which oil you're using, it's going to kind of adjust, right? Similar to like the plant medicine world, or even the type of sex that you're having, right? All of these are just like a way of adjusting so that you can find that inner self again. So you mentioned specifically, Betsy, oils to break blocks, to flow and bliss. Yeah, so you want to go in, if you're working on breaking blocks, which I don't really believe that there are blocks in the body. I believe it's more stagnation or like little funky stuff. If you want to break that up, I want you to use oils that are very confronting. So oils like oregano, oils like black pepper, Zendocrine is a doTERRA mix that I really like for breaking up blocks. Oh my God. You guys can't call me on Instagram. That's not allowed. It's a boundary. Okay. What else? Yeah. So like Zendocrine, black pepper, those types of oils. And block this guy. I don't know how to stop calling me. Yeah, oils like that. Betsy, if you have more questions about that, let me know. But that's kind of how you would do it. And you put them wherever you feel the stagnation in your body, right? All right, Apollo has a question for me. Great, Apollo's question. What's something you haven't done yet but really want to? Apollo, I don't think I have anything that I haven't done that I really want to do. Because there's nothing to do. I don't have to do anything. So in terms of experiencing life, I feel like I kind of experience life fully every day, all the time, no matter where I am, no matter if I'm at the CVS line buying my almond milk or if I'm in the middle of a festival surrounded by hundreds of naked bodies. It's the same experience for me. I honestly completely, fully fulfilled and satisfied. And I don't, I think everyone can, right? Like everyone can do that. Because there's nothing to do and there's nothing to seek, and we don't have to have any other experiences than the ones we're having currently if we're fully dropped in to the preciousness and the deliciousness of life. If our nervous systems are so ready and so open to simply be here present with what is available to us, right? That makes everything else, everything outside of the present moment kind of silly. It's just a story. And so really there's nothing that I haven't done, because the only thing that there is to do is right now. I hope that answered your question. I'd like to jump out of a plane though. I haven't done that yet. It'd be fun. I don't know. I don't really, I mean, like whatever, if it happens, if it's present. Chris Bale, so good. You're so good. That's our joke, because Chris says that he basically every time I talk to Chris Bale, I'm constantly telling him about how life is so good. And I do it specifically in it. Oh, it's so good. Like, oh my God, this avocado is so good. And the smell of these things are so good. And holy shit, the way that the blanket feels on my skin is so good. And so and he makes fun of me in a really loving way. And it's so good. Nikki, what's your thoughts on illness, fibromyalgia, but feel like the chronic pain could be connected to something deeper that I could heal within myself? Nikki, yay, I love this question. So I had fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed with it. I know the pain. I know the joint achiness. I know the not being able to move. I know the chronic part of it, and that no matter what, you kind of can't get rid of it. I know the depression that comes because of it. I remember lying on my couch and being like, watching my kid play and not being able to get up to play with him. I remember my partner wanting to make love to me, and I couldn't do that. I couldn't move. I couldn't even get up to cook dinner. And so here's what happened. Because obviously I don't have fibromyalgia anymore, Nikki. What happened is I surrendered to it, which I fought for a very long time. So I stopped trying to get rid of the illness. I started to love it. And I had this daily practice of loving deeply my body, and especially the places in my body that felt tense or constricted. And then once I started to, and it was through my self-pleasure practice. This is all self-pleasure practice. If you're not in the self-pleasure challenge yet, Nikki, you should definitely get in, babe. So self-pleasure practice every day, right? And then that self-pleasure practice started to turn from this place of love to then allowing me to express all of those. Because for me, fibromyalgia was not fully expressing myself. It was like, this woman is on a mission, and this woman needs to feel, and she's not fully feeling. And I believe that's every woman. And she's not fully, like, she's holding it in. And so in the self-pleasure practice, I started to allow myself to grieve. I started to allow myself to scream and rage. I started to allow myself to feel not good enough fully. And I like leaned into it. And then what started to happen was pleasure came on the other side. So all that grief, all that pain, all that, I stayed with it. I stayed in it, and I started to trust that my body could handle whatever was in it, even if it was fibromyalgia, even if it was deep grief, even if it was anger, even whatever. I started to trust that I didn't have to go anywhere outside of my body to find relief, right? There was no seeking to get rid of whatever was present. And so I just got really present with what is. And I started to move the energy, right? Through self-pleasure. Dance really helped me as well. Like, I would dance on my own, and then I would self-pleasure. And then I started to speak to my illness as if it was a part of me, and accept and love that part of me. So she lives here, right? And sometimes I can feel her come up, right? And she always has a message for me. She always has something to tell me. And it's usually, relax. I live in New York City. I have a pretty high masculine in terms of polarity. So normally she'll kind of tell me, relax, it's time to just let go and be. And then the speaking goes away, right? So self-pleasure is huge. And then in the self-pleasure, what starts to happen is the nervous system starts to relax. We start to find the essence of ourselves again, right? I started to recognize who I really was and how I really wanted to be touched, how I wanted to feel free, how I wanted to interact in the world, how I wanted to be in the world. I was doing so many things back then based on what I thought I should do. Like, I'd get all dressed up and then go out and I don't know, and talk to people over wine. And I was like, I don't like any of this. Why am I doing this? And so as I started doing the self-pleasure practice, I started realizing, like, I don't really like anything. I don't like this. I don't like the food I'm eating. I was eating some like crazy fibro diet, and I was like, no, I don't want to eat that. And I started eating avocados and mangoes all day long, which is basically what I do now. And I just dedicated myself to living a life fully in the present moment of pleasure. And then it disappeared, like poofed away. And I don't have symptoms. And again, when she starts to speak, I feel her as like a little constriction right here. When she starts to speak, when she starts to constrict, which she will become the illness again if I don't love her and honor her. I listen to her and I go, wait, what do you need, babe? What do you need? Do you need some orgasms? Do you need some cuddles? Do you need me to just love you? Right? I do a lot of this. And she feels seen now and heard. And so she doesn't need to fight me anymore, and I don't need to fight her. So, Nikki, that's what I did for my fibromyalgia. The other piece around it is really being, they say the energy that like fibro is like being outside of the body. Like the energy workers say that's like you're not fully embodied, right? Which would make sense why self-pleasure helps so much. So what she often, when she speaks, she's often just calling me to like ground back into my body and sink in deeply to the skin that I'm in and really feel that. As a lot of spiritual people suffer from fibromyalgia because they're flying outside of their body. And there's this beautiful piece with sexual ecstasy where you can be inside, rooted into your pussy, into your body, and also flying in the universe, right? And that stretch and expansion is where life gets to be, right? And where you get to live from. So, Nikki, I hope that was helpful. I'm hearing you say here that the freedom of what you say is liberating. Yeah. There's no reason for you not to be liberated. That's a story. Your freedom is already in you, and there's nothing you need to do at all to be any more free than you already are. You're already free. Right? It's that we create prisons within ourselves. We create prisons within our mind because often it feels safer to be chained. It feels safer. It feels what we know. It's our conditioning to be like tightly wound, right? And with freedom comes disruption. With freedom comes, voice that you may have never had. With freedom comes saying no to shit you don't want to. You don't have to go out and drink wine and dance in high heels. Like, fuck it, I want to sit at home and eat avocados and have orgasms, right? With freedom comes living your life completely outside of society, if you want, right? And so you're already free. I always say there's nothing that I actually do. Like when I'm with my clients, there's nothing I'm doing to you, right? It's not even really a you and a me, but character Genevieve is not really doing anything to you. I'm simply just showing you who you are again and reminding you of who you are again, right? Yeah. So Nikki, yeah, you're saying that you realize you have more work to do on your conditioning. Don't see it as work. It's play, babe. It's a play. It's a game. It's like, let's have fun with this. Let's just play with deconditioning myself. And I highly recommend, Nikki, getting into the Pleasure Challenge. It's free. We start on June 24th. It's in 2 weeks-ish. I don't know what today is. And every day, it's 7 days, and every day we're going to be doing a different self-pleasure practice in order to drop you into your body. And Nikki, I think it would be really profound for you because as we do the different self-pleasure practices, you'll start to decondition your nervous system and figure out the best way to do it for your body, which is huge because a lot of people will self-pleasure in a particular nervous system imprinting, right? They will self-pleasure in a very masculine nervous system imprinting, or perhaps they'll use it. You guys have heard me talk about the erotic blueprints, an erotic blueprint that is not true to their body, and they're not able to fully rest and relax in that because it's not really them. It's not how their nervous system has been conditioned, right? So they're not mirroring it with the opposite. And self-pleasure needs to be the opposite, to hold, right? The opposite of how you normally hold in order for you to fully relax. For example, I didn't realize, years ago, my nervous system was wired in a more kinky fashion. And so I needed intensity in order for me to relax. And I kept trying like bath and candles and romance, and it wasn't working because my nervous system was conditioned in a way that needed the kink in order to fully relax. Now I'm energetic, which means I need deep connection. I need eyes. I need stillness and anticipation and a lot of tease, right? It's very different from when I was kinky. So just, we need to know this about our bodies, about like, it's not so much what the conditioning is, but, what's going to bring me to the present moment the fastest, which hack works the most, which tool is going to be the best for me. Cool. Let me see if there's more questions. Betsy says, surrender has been a word that has been showing up frequently for me. Yeah, it's time. It's time. There's no reason to wait. Abhinav says, the glow. Thank you. Beautiful. So I have 3 more minutes and I'll be on with you guys. And then I've got to pop up because I'm doing a Facebook Live on Michael Bates' page. So those of you that know Michael Bates or don't know Michael Bates, you guys need to be on it. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm assuming it's gonna be around masculine, feminine polarity. We play in that a lot. I'm sure we'll demo some juicy stuff for you guys. I'm gonna talk more about this nervous system thing because it's been coming up a lot for me lately. We'll talk about kind of self practices, and we'd love it to be a discussion. So make sure to pop over to his page, and let me just check out. Instagram, I've been ignoring you, so let me look at you and see. I want to talk to you in private. Someone said, yeah, that's, you can always email me, email my team, Genevieve at essentialreclamation.com, and then we'll see if you're a good match to be interviewed for my one-on-one coaching. There's a process, right, to go through, and then we can get on a call and really be live together. Someone asked, what is energy exactly? I don't know. Life. Some of these like what if, what is, or like why questions are always like, how do I even answer those? Because I don't know. To me, energy feels like life. To me, it feels like what is the difference between being alive in a body and not being alive in a body? And then someone said, thanks, first time seeing you, and I felt so connected to everything you discussed. Yeah, thank you for connecting. Thank you. Agora says, lots of people want to talk to you in private. I don't know why. Yeah, this is true. So we have a process. I wish that I could talk to all of you. But, hey, the Pleasure Tribe is going to be a great way to really get in touch with me because we're there. We're in there a lot. Like I'm going to be in there that week with you guys a lot and really giving you lots of one-on-one. Again, just showing up to remind you of who you are. 7 days in there, and it's beautiful for those of you that really want to figure out, like, how do I rock my own world? How do I show up every day in bliss and ease and pleasure? Like, how do I do that without anything else outside of me? Because everything is inside. You don't have to go and get the next best thing or go on the next best, plant medicine journey. Like it's right here. It's right here. And that's the joy of your own body and being human. It's pretty exciting. All right, I'm going to run because I bet Michael is almost here. I will see you guys on his page, Michael Bates, Mikaal, Bates like the Bates Motel, in like 3, 4, 5 minutes or so. Big love to all of you. Bye, Insta. I'll post the Pleasure challenge link into this feed after I'm done so that you guys can have it also. All right. Yay, Nikki joined the Pleasure Tribe. Welcome to the tribe, babe. We're happy to have you. Bye, everyone.